Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. We've got a 2-in-1 for you today. I did say I'd probably double up on some of these just because of, well, specifically how well these two work together. We got the Super Saiyan 3 GOHANKS and we're using also the Super Saiyan 3 XENO GOTENKS. And yeah, we're gonna see how they do in ESBR. Now, the only thing with this team right now is, which could be a problem, but at the same time, I'm not overly worried considering how good these units are, like the entire team, is we do not have a whole lot of health. Like, we just don't. We don't have a lot of health at all in the slightest. Like, 257k. But we do have some pretty good units and some pretty bulky units of that. Of course, the Ultimate Tech Gohan being one of them absolute bulky units. And also this guy, who I really love. I mean, if you could stun like the majority of the enemies right now, that would be great. Even if you don't, you might get an additional, and then you might do so then. Just like that. I think so far we stunned 2 of them, potentially, out of the Bardock squad. Now 3 of them. 4. So 4 enemies out of the entire, out of all of them, 4 of them are stunned. Out of the entire lot, 4 of them. This is why I love the Gotenks. That AGL Gotenks really is something else. He's amazing. So good. Look at that. He's stunned the entire enemy. I was gonna say rotation, but he's stunned every single enemy there is, apart from Tora. Other than that, he stunned everyone. Oh, I love him. I really do. He's such a great SBR unit. But yeah, we've got what I like to call the XENO tag team. We're running the XENO tag team, as I said, of Super Saiyan 3 GOHANKS and Super Saiyan 3 XENO GOTENKS. You know, like, you know, back in there, if you watch, you watch WWE, you got the Dudley boys, you know, you've got the Hardy boys. We've got the XENO of, or the tag team of XENO, or the XENO tag team. And that is these two. And the reason why I say that is because of how well they work together. They just literally play off each other. Like, it's that good. You know what I mean? Like, it's so well how they play off each other. So you've got the GOHANKS who gets attack and defense. Well, they both get attack and defense plus 120. They both get attack and defense plus 30% with each super attack performed up to 120. That's kind of the only downside to their kit, or their passive specifically, is you do need to build up their passive a bit for them to like really get going. Like, as you can see here, turn 1 literally just scraping over 1 million attack stat. I mean, it's not the worst because they do have a built-in additional, but that is when the Dragon Ball Heroes category allies attacking in the same turn, and that's the way we're going to get around that. We're not really, you know, compensating for them. You know, we're not building the team around them. These are the two that actually fall about running together because they work so well together anyway. So it's not like we're fully accommodating for them. That makes sense. There's 1 stun. Just the 1? Ah, that's fine. So yeah. So they both have to be built up, which is the only kind of downside to them running in ESBR, but they do have built-in additionals when another Dragon Ball Heroes category ally is attacking in the same turn. Which we will have once the rotations are fixed. Or I kind of got my rotation. I do have my first rotation in hand. I need to get the other one sorted. Which, to be fair, is only 4 attacks, so it shouldn't take too long. And with the built-in additional, will literally take about 2 turns in total, so it's not really a problem. And then this is where they start working well together, which is why I wanted to run them together while doing this. Which is, yeah, Bardock's on a stun, so we'll attack faster. And then we have type advantage at the end there, which is kind of annoying, but we should be good. Just because a lot of you have low health, we should be good. But this is also where they work well together. Of course, GOHANKS gets the additional for the Dragon Ball Heroes category. Same with GOTENKS. If they're not on the same rotation like they have been, then it's the either and scenario, or an and or scenario, which is when the target enemy is an attack down or defense status for GOTENKS, which, funny enough, the SSJ3 XENO GOTENKS actually does. And then GOTENKS' either or kind of scenario or condition is When the target enemy is stunned or sealed, which I find quite funny because on super attack, what does GOHANKS do? Seals. So, I mean, they do work well together. I mean, even if you weren't going to run them on the same rotation, like, but I am going to purely for the purpose of the video. Even if you weren't going to run them on the same rotation together, they can still essentially work off each other's kit. So even though they're going to be getting additionals anyway because they're going to be attacking in the same turn, even though sometimes I might split up the rotation just, you know, so the run can go a bit smoother because they both need to be built up, so having them in the same turn can be slightly risky. But it does also benefit them. Even if when the rotations split up, they're still working off each other. So if we get a seal off with GOHANKS, the following turn, if GOTENKS is on that rotation, or XENO GOTENKS to be specific, he will then get his additional because the enemy is sealed. Vice versa with GOTENKS, he automatically will lower attack and defense for the turn, for 2 turns, is it? No, 3 turns by 20%, which is good for ESBR in general. And so is sealing, obviously. But then the following turn, if GOHANKS is on that rotation, we'll get an additional off because the enemy's in attack down or defense down status. So regardless if you're even running these dons on the same rotation as each other, which I said, you know, at all times might not be the best idea, they are still working off each other. Hence why I call them the XENO tag team, or the tag team of XENO. Maybe I go as far as saying the, you know, the tag team of Dokkan. As I said, if you ever watch WWE, these are the Dudley Boys or the Hardy Boys. These are the guys, Edge and Christian things, you know, DX. That's how well they work. That's the synergy. That's the teamwork. The power of friendship. You know, that's how well they work with each other. That's why we're doing the 2-in-1 today. The other thing I've missed is the fact they both raise attack and defense for 1 turn by 30%, which of course is going to be very useful in the likes of ESBR. If, you know, a turn, you know, you second slot, you super attack. You know, you're a bit more bulky, you can survive some basic attacks, won't do too much damage. You might not get one shot by a super. I thought he stunned the entire rotation. He stunned everyone apart from Raditz, but I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. So the only one who wasn't stunned is Raditz, and Raditz is attacking twice. See, right now their defense just isn't good enough. Like, if it was kind of at least where Gohan's is at, sure. But for the time being, we're gonna have them like away from each other. We're gonna separate them. We're gonna have them apart. And then, actually no, maybe I should have kept GOTENKS on rotation, because then he would have automatically lowered their attack and defense, which would have guaranteed. To be fair, they're going to be attacking in the same turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I was going to say, because then GOTENKS will lower their attack and defense, which will give GOTENKS an additional super, but they're going to get an additional super anyway because they're attacking in the same turn. That kind of doesn't really matter. But Nappa is sealed, so there is that. So there's the additionals. This is where they just kind of work off each other, which is what I like. You know, they might not be the best units in Dokkan. And as I said, at some points in ESBR, considering how much damage you'll take, it's probably going to be slightly risky to be running them together. You know, just because both of them not fully built up, or again, that's kind of the major downside with running these two in ESBR, especially together, is the fact that, you know, they are susceptible to quite a bit of damage unless they are fully built up off their passive, which I do get. Again, even when they're not on the same rotation, they still can work off each other. The only thing that lets GOTENKS down compared to GOHANKS is if there isn't another Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, and you know, you have to wait until the following turn to have one of like the and/or conditions off. The only thing that lets GOTENKS down is the fact that his one requires sealing, which some units, not all, but some units have a chance to seal. To be fair, GOHANKS doesn't, which is why they work so well together. I mean, that's all I keep saying is how well they work together. But it's true. It honestly is. It's so true how well they work together. Gonna do this, then we're gonna do that one, and then GOTENKS at the end. Worst comes to worst, he seals. Which, funny enough, no, he doesn't seal, he stuns. Wrong one. But to be fair, if he does stun, that actually helps Gotenks with following rotation to get an additional. But we're at the end anyway on this phase. One other thing as well. He got the seal off. I mean, to be fair, he's guaranteed to seal. So, I mean, regardless of what happens, Gotenks is getting an additional next turn. Even if he's sealed and stunned, you're getting your additional next turn. But yeah, one thing I do like Gohanks, like about Gohanks, which literally is neither here nor there, it literally just doesn't matter, is my personal preferences. I like his design. We're getting a Dokkan attack. That's kind of, didn't really want that. Yeah, I like his design. It's just really clean. Like the whole, like, I know they kind of both got one, but the kind of undershirt with like the fusion vest, and then like, I don't know, there's something about the hair, you know, you got the bang, which is like, reminds me of Gohan, like Ultimate Gohan having the singular bang. Then this one's got two. I don't know, he just looks clean. He looks clean, and then of course he's got the sword. It just looks clean. I don't know. Sounds stupid. I just think Gohanks looks really clean. This actually might be it. No additional for Gotenks, because this is too good. Yeah, there we go. No additional for Gotenks. Don't even need to get the additional. We're actually doing really well. As I said, the 357k health may be an issue, but so far it just really hasn't been an issue. Here it might be though, because this is where damage is going to start. Oh, I don't like that. See, wherever we go with Gohanks now, it's a bit dangerous. We don't have any more Whis. Literally, wherever I put him, he's gonna get hurt. See, this is the only downside or one of the other few downsides these two have, which is, well, in this case, the type disadvantage for Gohanks, but the amount of attacks that are coming, and there's also type advantage given the scenario, but also they're not built up at all yet, which means their defense is what, 70k, 92k. But in ESBR with type disadvantage, that's just not enough. I don't know where to put you. I mean, he's going to be taking damage anyway, so I'm going to Usher. It's just like, it's the only safe bet I have. Can't get a super attack off with you though, because it's just, you don't link well. I mean, to be fair, no one links well with Gohanks, with Gohan, so it's just not really your fault. But that probably wasn't the best start to this final phase. The type disadvantage, the key placement. I think there's probably nothing wrong with the key placement. It's Gohan's links. One of the best TURs in the game, but his link set, it just isn't the greatest. That's the only thing that lets him down. I think I split this up now. I think I run it like this. You're gonna get increased defense. If you can stun both of them, that would be fantastic. That actually generally would be great if you could stun both of them. Really wish we had the Dokkan attack going into this final phase, but what can you do? Would have been incredibly helpful. There's extra defense. Yeah, we'll take a bit extra on that one. Come on, RNG in our favor. Get those stuns off. Can we get Broly? We got Broly. Additional. I mean, to be fair, we're going to be... I mean, he even got another one. We're fine because of the type advantage. Bit of chunk of damage there, but it's okay. Other than that, we're fine. Broly's now stunned, which is great. Which means Gotenks is now going to get an additional guaranteed. So we're going to pop this. Increase defense, got our health fully back up. Like, for a rotation, for one turn, we can actually run them together with, like, no problems. Like, they're fully synced up as well. Because we're going to get an additional regardless. Because Broly's stunned. I mean, we're going to get I keep forgetting, we're going to get an additional regardless because there's a Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, which is essentially both of them. But if that wasn't the case, it would have worked because Broly is stunned. He's fine here because of Paragus having type disadvantage against Gotenks. Then Gohan, it's funny, this is what I find quite, it's not really irony, but I just find it quite funny, the fact that they're either, like, that kind of either or and or condition, like, if there isn't Dragon Ball Heroes category ally attacking in the same turn, which of course they are, then essentially both the effect they have on Super, which is Gohanks Seals, that gives Gotenks his like ore condition to get the additional, and the same with Gotenks lowering attack and defense for Gohanks. So in theory, it was almost like these two were made for each other. Like that's just how it seems. It seems like these two were made for each other. What do I want to do here? How many times are we getting attacked? We're getting attacked twice by Broly before even supering. But then the amount of damage Gotenks can do, especially on a crit, can end Paragus. I could do this and then get the stun off immediately, but then he has less defense than the Easy A Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which means he's open to more damage against Broly, which is not good. Or maybe I'll do this. Messing up the rotation, but maybe I'll do this. So we attack you. You should be good. Hopefully you get the stun off again. Worst comes to worst, at least we have our defense. I can't remember about how much off the top of my head, but at least we'll have our defense raised for this turn because of how many orbs we picked up. The Paragus should be dead, which kind of deals with one of our problems. This is going to hurt a little bit. If you can stun, that would be really good, because then we can avoid some damage on you. No additional? No additional. Actually, no, we took no damage. Okay, we're fine. I mean, stun would have been good going into next turn, though. But still, we should be good here. Yeah, literally no damage. No damage. Now he has a chance to stun that he's gone into Super Saiyan. It's like Hybrid Saiyan's main thing. Bulk and stunning. Literally. The only worrying thing is about... This is why I wanted Gotenks to stun, is the fact that none of the units on this rotation, if they get super attacked, are going to survive, because we only have 300... Well, we have 303k health right now. These two have type disadvantage. Even with the snake, I'm worried. Kind of has to be Gotenks first as well. I mean, at least there's going to be an additional, I guess. But it has to be the, like... I mean, I hope the super attack don't come against Gotenks. Oh, the game, it's just like it's always listening. Okay, he's raised his attack and defense, which is helpful, but not anymore. He raised his attack and defense twice, lowered Broly's attack and defense, which again is good, but it would have been nice beforehand. I mean, it helps Gohanks. Gohanks has also raised his attack and defense now twice. He's also sealed, which is a little bit too late, but I guess it kind of goes into next turn. See, again, this is where they're working really well together. Now, granted, they both would work better in slot 2 because the whole raised attack and defense. Okay, and he's stunned. Fantastic. Okay, we're good. We're good. See, yeah, granted, they both work better in slot 2 because they have to be built up. You know, we took a bit of damage there. If it weren't for the snake, we probably would have been dead, especially on the super. Definitely, in fact, no, not even especially. Definitely on the super attack. That's still done way over 200k. And again, we have about 350 something k total health. Again, they work so well there. Just ideally, you can't have them both. I mean, if they're in slot 2 and slot 3, that is perfect. Because, I mean, at least every rotation, or every other rotation, one of them is coming back to then get the Dragon Ball Heroes category ally condition off. So while they work great on rotation, they're both ideally better as a slot 2 unit, so you can raise your attack and defense before getting hit. And then I think maybe, just maybe, running one on main rotation and potentially running one as a floater may be the best shout in ESBR anyway. Because again, you'll constantly be having them in an ideal scenario, which is raise attack and defense before they get supered, or just generally hit. And then at least, you know, every time they come back, you're getting the guaranteed, you know, Dragon Ball Heroes category ally kind of condition off getting the additional. Then also potentially an attack down and defense down status for Gohanks, which more than one unit in the game can do. Same with stealing and stunning for Gotenks. So maybe ideally, if one of them like was run as a floater, one of them is in slot 2 on one of the rotations, maybe that would work a little bit better. All I know is together, it is definitely good and fun to run them. It's just not ideal. It's just not ideal for ESBR, just because they both need to be built up. And they both don't have the highest of defense. So essentially it works really well. It's just, it isn't ideal for this event specifically, just because of how much damage you can take. But it does work well. Additionals coming off left, right, and center. That was a free dupe additional super. That is a 55% additional super we just got of Gotenks there. So even if Broly wasn't stunned, you know how perfect that would have been. I would have raised his attack and defense 3 times. So they are great. They are really good for ESBR. They work really, really well and work off each other fantastically. It's just I don't think the same rotation is... I mean, you can do it. It's just, it's not all that safe. Like, it can be quite risky. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. Why not? I don't actually usually get your Super Saiyan 3 transformation off, so why not? Like, if I'm honest, I've hardly ever seen this active come off, so why not? To be fair to this Gotenks, while he is pretty decent and quite overlooked, his animations on his transformations are really nice. I really like his Super Saiyan transformation. I do think that's probably one of the nicer ones in the game. But yeah, this should be it. We should be done. And if I'm being completely honest, maybe RNG was a little bit more on our side today, but I think I deserve it considering the last couple days trying to do some of these runs. They were horrible. But yeah, one of the main reasons why we do these is to see if a unit works well or is capable in harder events like ESBR and GT Goku event, and I think I could easily say Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks and Super Saiyan 3 XENO Gotenks can work very well in ESBR. And they can work very, very well off each other. As I said, granted, it's probably not always the best to be running them on the same rotation just because they both have to be built up and they're not the best defensively. Once they're fully built up and you have them raise their attack and defense before getting hit, fantastic. You should be good. Double digits if you get supered, couple hundred, like just over 100k, should be fine. On that team, maybe not so much because we only have like just over 300k health. GOHANKS Seals, which is great. Gotenks Seals, lowers attack and defense, which is great for ESBR. They work off each other so well. They link so well because they're both Fusion Super Saiyan 3 units. They literally share the same links, apart from Brainiacs for Gohanks, the Innocence on Gotenks, Kamehameha on Gohanks, no, on Gotenks, and then Cold Judgment on Gohanks. So Gotenks has Kamehameha. They literally share all links the same apart from 2. So they do work well together on the same rotation, and they kind of don't, but that's because they both have to be built up. But yeah, they were really fun. At not one point did I ever feel like we're going to be in trouble. But yeah, the tag team of Dokkan, or the XENO tag team. Let me think of them down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and